this here is the mechanical camper jacks for customers that want to take the camper on and off their truck on a regular basis. If you're leaving the camper on full time, you won't need to order jacks. The jack bracket, this little white jack bracket over here, is attached to all of the campers. Jack bracket standard. Mechanical camper jacks for the four corners is an option. These are simple to use. They have 3 bolts to bolt that on, set it on, put your bolts in there, tighten them down. You can travel with these jacks on, you can travel with the jacks off. We usually recommend loading the camper, securing your tie downs, turnbuckles, plugging the camper in, and leaving your jacks at home. Having these 4 jacks hanging off the side of the camper can be a snag factor sometimes for rocks on trails, trees, or other cars parked next to you sometimes will clip them. To use them, they come with a crank handle. They actually come with 2 crank handles and a drill bit. Crank handle we use sometimes just to get it started. You can crank it down by hand. It's just very slow. It's easy to do. It's not a lot of pressure, but it's slow to make this jack go down here. For that reason, that's where the drill bit comes in, and we'll take a cordless drill, put our drill bit in there, and we'll run those up and down. When I'm doing the distance, making this jack go all the way to the ground, we use the speed setting. Makes it very fast, and then when we're starting to lift the entire weight of the camper, we'll switch the gear more to the torque setting, so it can do the heavy lifting without putting strain on the drill motor. When you want to set the camper back down into the truck, we just reverse that, lower that down, and we'll do the rest of the quick lifting with the faster setting. But what we do before we get to the end of the jack here, before this foot goes all the way up into the edge of the rest of the jack mechanism, we slow down. So we'll just go nice and slow the last 4, 5, 6 turns. The reason for that is if you're going too fast and that thing stops, it goes all the way to the end, sometimes your drill will jerk out of your hands, hit your shoulder. So that last little bit, you can just do that by hand. When the jack is all the way up, drill bit's off, I usually take a crank handle. I'll check my foot here. If it's rattling, it's too loose. This can actually rattle down all the way to the ground on washboard roads if you're traveling with your jacks on. We take these off most of the time, but if you're going to leave them on, go ahead and just put your little crank handle on here and then figure out the right direction and tighten it down. I don't do it super tight, I'm just snugging it down a little bit. Tightens that gear up, tightens the foot up, no more rattle. So that jack's nice and firm now. This isn't going to rattle down. It's locked. I didn't over tighten it, but I did snug it down. Then we put the handles away. Hope that helps.